Ramblin' Man here with Ramblin' Man Moto. I was out riding recently on a backcountry road. I almost hit something. Or did something almost hit me? Let's take a look at the clip. Well, that was fun. Now, what could I have done better on that one? The dog came out really quick, so I'm not sure I could have detected that dog much earlier. I will have to admit I was in a pretty relaxed mode and I wasn't scanning, and I was pretty relaxed on this road, so maybe just being aware that keep the eyes moving on these country roads. I mean, I did see the dog and react, but he wasn't far off the road when he started running. So there's that. I always debate whether to honk or counter steer to evade. To do both. Counter steering harder might have been a good idea. Counter steered a lot harder to put even more distance between me and that dog. I got past the dog, so I must have done something right, but you can also appreciate how much luck plays into that and just how aggressive that dog was going to be versus was he playing or not. I think those are the two big things I take away from that is make sure I'm always paying attention, especially in the country roads I'm unfamiliar with, and counter steering harder to put more distance. I'm sure you guys probably see more you'd add to that list. Feel free to put it in the comments. So anyhow, just one tip is to always be scanning. You got to have your head on a swivel and looking for the critters that might, or cars that might come out of driveways, basketballs and things like that to come out, or children chasing those things. You got to keep that in mind and adjust your speed accordingly. Out on these country roads, it's critters and maybe cars and trucks and tractors, you never know. One thing is if you're at a stop and get caught with aggressive dogs, do you carry pepper spray or some other defensive? I usually do. I did not that day. I'm not sure that's really too relevant for animals on a moving bike, but that's more if you get caught, and whether it's a person or an animal, it's good to have less lethal on you. So that's just another thing to keep in the back of the mind of what you carry when you're on the bike for self-defense, be it against people or animals. Kind of one of the first rules you want to keep in mind is no panic braking. Quick turn of the bars to try to avoid it. Counter steering, yes. Swerve, no. I have that Buffalo brand horn, which is another thing I think if you don't have a loud horn on your bike, I think it's something to consider. It can be for animals. Definitely deer out here, I like having the loud horn. I got it for cars and dumb drivers. And for that, it's been very helpful. And for the deer, it has been helpful out here. You heard that I honked the horn and I was trying to counter steer to the right at the same time. To me, that's kind of rule number one. Don't panic brake. Don't hit the front brake. Don't lock down on the rear brake. One thing that I've picked up by reading others was the technique of using speed to your advantage. And in some cases, it could be slower speeds. You're traveling down the road, the dog's trying to time it, but then you slow down to throw off their timing and then speed up past them. I've actually used that technique a couple of times. So it's something to think about, is using speed to your advantage, not just going fast by them, but also slowing it down to throw off the rhythm and then shooting by. You know, I think the fast moving bike initiates the chase effect in the dog. So I think that's one thing with slowing them down, not stopping, but slowing down might throw them off their game. If you don't have a Buffalo brand horn or something similar, I would encourage you to get one of those. That is what position you ride when you're going down the road. I alter mine based on where I'm at and what's going on. Typically, I'm in the 1 to 2 position, so all the way to the left, near the double yellow, or the middle, number 2. I don't tend to go all the way to the right. And in this case, had I been all the way to the right, I would have no further place to go further to the right. The reason I don't like the number 1 position close to the double yellow, especially out in the country, is so many people ride over the double yellow. You come over a hill and they're in the middle. So I tend to be kind of in that 2-ish in the middle, and that did give me some room to go off to the right. You know, I think when I'm out in these rural areas is where I encounter this most is, think ahead to where you might see a dog. Rural areas in general, I pretty much expect there could be dogs anytime and everywhere. But like if you see a driveway that's got 12 or 13, 14 mailboxes at the end of the driveway where everybody comes and gets their mail, I have found that those can be places where dogs can congregate or come out of nowhere. You got to always be prepared, but I do tend to find the rural areas more prone to this, so it's something you got to be aware of. Distantly related, kind of this topic, is your gear. You know, if a dog is snapping at your leg, or if you go down unfortunately, because of the dog. Gear is going to be important. But whatever you wear, jeans, boots, if you're in the I wear shorts club, obviously you're leaving yourself exposed not only to the dog, but also the resulting fall. Your skin's going to get torn up a lot more. So it's just something to think about. Your good gear all the time as a way to deal with these things and just to be safe in general. It's from your helmet to your gear. That is a crash if you do hit a dog and you go down, or any other critter. So think about your gear.
That could have turned out a lot worse, but all's well that ends well. Glad the dog didn't make contact with the bike, or I didn't make contact with the dog. Curious what you would have done different in that situation? Leave it in the comments below. I'll see you on the road.